Good people, what's up? Listen, welcome back to Created Worthy. Yep, the channel that you know that we wrestle with the principles, the philosophy, and the foundational understanding of this that we were created worthy. Therefore, we no longer perform for what we were created with. And today, I want to start a two-part series called Exhausted Expectations. Okay, how many people are exhausted trying to live up to other people's expectations? Whether it's your kids, your parents, your friends, your job. There's a level of expectation, or we can define it as either non verbal or verbal agreement to terms on how to progress or move a relationship forward. In corporate, we see it in this way that we give you these principles, we give you these objectives, we give you this job description. At the end of the year, if you live up to expectations, then we give you a bonus, we give you a little raise, and you keep it pushing. Yep, expectations. Communicated or non-communicated terms of a relationship and how you move it forward. But my pastor said something to my wife and I over 20 years ago in premarital counseling. He said this. He said that watch out for frustrations, which are failed expectations. And when an expectation has not been met, the gap between expectation and reality is frustration. So I want to ask you this question. Have you ever had a moment where you're trying to figure out why you're so tired? Have you ever figured out a moment and why it doesn't feel like the winds feel hollow, the relationships don't have the impact that they used to have? It's probably because you're navigating the exhaustion of expectation. So what we've learned on this channel here is that there's 4 patterns in which we have a tendency to hide or create environments trying to live up to somebody else's expectation. And it creates the exhaustion that we live with while we're living and crumbling underneath the weight of the lie that we have to be all of this to these people this way in order for us to be loved, accepted, and in relationship. And remember, we no longer perform for what we were created with. So in order for us to be able to uproot the lie, we got to be able to identify the behavior that's showing up. So these 4 patterns, and we'll talk about 2 of them today, are the helper, the performer, the minimizer, and the shapeshifter. So because this is so important, I'm going to read right here off my screen to make sure that we get this information so we can make sure that we're navigating appropriately as we identify the issues that could be causing the exhaustion of the expectations we're living under. If y'all ready to go, let's keep it pushing. Cool. All right, so here we go. The first one I want to talk about is the minimizer. Yep, the minimizer is exhausted by the expectation of being less is safe than being fully present. I wrote a whole book about this one. You say things like, man, other people got it worse than I do, and man, it don't matter what restaurant I want to go to, man, we just gonna do it. Yep, that right there. And what happens with the minimizer is you walk around feeling like this, and these are the shame statements in which you navigate. I want you to understand, these are 4 shame statements that the minimizer navigates, which creates fear and allows them to continue in this behavior because it makes them feel safe. Here's the 4 shame statements. I shouldn't need anything. I shouldn't take up space. I shouldn't inconvenience anyone, and I shouldn't want more than I have. Come on, tell the truth. Do you have that minimizer pattern? Have you done that before in your life? Because here's what happens. The exhaustion of being a minimizer is simply this. It's coming from you trying to erase yourself. And the constant self-monitoring makes you exhausted. Okay. Remember, I said there's 4, so we're only going to talk about 2 today. So the next one I want to talk about is the performer. Yep, got that one too. So the performer is exhausted by the expectation that worth must be earned through flawless output. Perfectionists, overthinkers. I'm all about quality. My name is on it. I get all that. That's the performer. And you're navigating out of fear and shame. Let me give you your 4 shame statements. I should always be impressive. I should never slow down. I should be the most prepared in the room. And I should never let anyone see me struggle. Whew. Now, y'all know the performer, this perfectionist, this person is constantly trying to make sure everything is right, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. You know they're subject to what? Burnout. Subject to burnout. And their exhaustion comes from the unceasing achievement pressure. Mm-hmm. See, everybody navigates the exhaustion of expectations different. And today I wanted to just highlight two of the ways in which you could be moving through your life right now, exhausted and not even know it. Where for the performer, for them to actually get rest, for them to actually show themselves as less than perfect or put together, terrifies them. They feel and they get antsy because they can't sit still because they always have to feel like they're doing something. Or the minimizer. Yep, their issue is they actually don't know their true voice. They know what they don't want, but they actually don't know what they want. And when you ask them a question, something as simple as, what do you want for dinner? They can't make a decision because they're used to doing what everybody else says. So here's what I want you to do. You might say, Aaron, I don't know if I'm a minimizer. I don't know if I have the performer issue. I don't know about any of that. I get it. So all I want you to do is click the link below in the description. Go to myhidingpattern.com. Take 3 minutes, take the assessment, and read the results and see which one of these 4 might be yours. See which one of these could be costing you energy, costing you sleep, costing you things and relationships that you haven't been able to put language to, but you know the feeling, but you thought that it just might have been you. I just want to tell you, it's not you. And in 3 minutes, you can figure out exactly what you need to identify and how you can take steps forward to healing and getting connected back to God's truth, which is simply this. You were created worthy. You no longer have to perform for what you were created with. So listen, if you know somebody who needs to be on this channel, needs this video, share it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you for part 2 of the series called Exhausted Expectations, and we'll talk through the next 2 patterns, the helper and the shapeshifter. Until then, I'll see you.